Hi, it's Fun Fold Friday, and this week we are going to make a fun flap fold. Here's a couple samples that I made using this fold, and then I will walk you through on this video the process of making this green one. These papers come from Close to My Heart Isabella collection. I am a Close to My Heart maker, so most of the products that I use are either from Close to My Heart currently or have been. These instructions for the flat fold card will be on my blog, so you don't have to worry about writing anything down now. Super easy, cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and then I do the first fold at 2 1/2. And then instead of worrying about if I get it folded correctly, I just tuck in the bottom half and fold it, and then I know that I'm going to have a perfect fold each time. So the first part of this video, I'm going to show you how to decorate it, kind of just using the scraps that I have, and you can obviously decorate your own with any papers or whatever you want. And then I will show you how to cut the hole for this fun fold to allow stuff to come through. And I'll show you how to do it wrong the first time. So, you know, what not to do, cautionary tale. So I'm just taking some of these papers. I love the versatility of the Isabella collection. I did a double page scrapbook layout on Tuesday that focused on all of the blues that were in the paper pack. And then previously I had done some layouts with daisies that did the yellow and some of the pinks. And now I'm kind of just focusing on the greens in the paper pack. And I didn't even realize that it could be broken down this way when I first saw it. So it's just a fun pack, very versatile. I'm cutting off this, I believe it is sage green, and I'm just cutting it to 4 1/4 wide. And then I will end up rounding the corners of the bottom and top of my card, and you can do that or not. Just any corner rounder will work for you. And I find that it's hard to do multiple layers of cardstock, especially, so you go ahead and round your corners before you glue it down. That's a future tip situation, and actually helps your tool last longer as well. I am using the art glitter glue in the small bottle. I also like the Tombow green capped white adhesive. It's like the multi, because that has a tackiness to it when it's dry. And here for attaching the ribbon, you saw that another adhesive used is a tape runner. I end up missing putting the glue where it's above where the ribbon was, and so to make sure that it doesn't interfere with how the card functions, I went ahead and used my sock with cornstarch in it, and that just takes the stickiness out of it, and you don't even see it. So again, I'm going to clip the corners before I adhere any paper on that, just so that my tool will last longer. I'm really enjoying playing. And I know that might sound funny, but just to be able to sit with these scraps that are on my desk beside me, I've already made some projects following some patterns where here it's a fancy fold or a fun fold, and you just kind of get to play with what you have and make something beautiful from it. The flowers that I'm using in this sample and also in the blue sample that I did are from my flower shaping video. They were left over from that. So here I'm attaching the die cut, and I'm attaching it wrong. This is not how you want to attach it. So when you pull it out after running it through your embossing machine, so you'll see that the plates are together and it's going over the whole card, you get this, and this is not what you want. So how do you correct that? I'll show you. The first thing you do is cut off the part that you don't want. So I'm just putting it in my trimmer and I'm cutting it off. And again, because it doesn't really matter if it's exactly 2.5 inches or more, I'm going to cut a piece that's 3 inches tall by 4.5 or 4 1/4 wide, and then I'm going to score it at a 1/2 inch, and this will become my new top fold. Brilliant, I know. So then I just glue that 1/2 inch flap onto the back of the card. And now I have a new flap, and I can proceed with rounding the corners again and get us back to kind of where we were before I had a brain, freeze and forgot how to emboss or how to die cut the proper hole in the card. So I grabbed some more of that green paper. I think I'm more upset that I had the mistake with this green ivy paper. I kind of was hoarding it a little bit. I just love it, and I have so much paper I'm not buying more, but I know that's always the option. Instead, I'm just going to celebrate the fact that I have made something beautiful with it and will be able to hopefully send a smile to somebody. So now we are getting back to where we were when I showed you what not to do. So now what I'm going to do, I grabbed the wrong die here. So let me grab the right one. Here we go. And I'm using the points of the bracket part of this die to line up to the top of my paper, and that just orients it so that I know that it's straight across. So I'm using a little bit of washi tape, and then here's the big trick. So you put the top piece just so that it lines up to where you want the die to cut. So in this case, up to the fold line of your front flap. And then you push the card through. I'm changing the settings for the, and I'm gonna turn this upside down because it actually cuts better if the white mat is on the bottom. But you can see that the card is out first, and it did not go over the whole die. I only had it cut to where the fold was. So after I remove the washi tape, you'll see here what we have left. And it's going to be just a flap cut out of the card, and then you just finish that cut with your scissors. You could put it into a cutting, a cutter straight edge if you wanted to, but for me the scissors work just fine. And then after I took that out, I'm like, oh, this would be a cool inside decoration. So I'm going to just straighten out the edge so that it looks a little more uniform, and then I'm going to glue this on the bottom. I do apologize. My camera set up, like I had said in a previous video, was set up incorrectly, and I should have that fixed, hopefully going ahead for future videos. So this is one of the flowers that I did with the Close to My Heart layered flower die, and I'm really sorry to tell you that those have sold out. You can see one of the flowers there in the upper corner on my desk. I absolutely love these flowers and all the versatility of the shapes you can make with them. But I will tell you that you can get the same shape or very similar to it with the Cricut files on Flower Market, and I believe on Art Philosophy. So if you have those, great, and you can just cut your different sizes and make the same kind of things as the dies. Otherwise, if there's a die that you think that you might want from Close to My Heart, they have been selling out kind of quickly. So here I just tied my ribbon. I'm getting a glue dot, and I'm trying to figure out where I want to put it, and I've decided that I'm just going to put it on the edge of the opening so that it doesn't interfere with the opening and closing. And I went through my leaf envelope. If you watch my videos, you know that I have a envelope with leaves in it. Some are die cut, some are from the Cricut, some are punches, but when I run out and I need some, I always do extra to use up scrap paper. So again, here's my magic bag of sentiments that I that I stamp and just kind of keep together, and I'm using the word thankful, and I'm just gonna pop dot that on here, and I'm using the foam tape from the center of the shaker card foam elements, and that's our card. You open it up and there you go. And there's lots of room to write a note, which is actually probably what it'll be a thank you note to to a friend. And here's a look at the blue card. This again is all the Isabella papers, but I just focused on the blues. And the flower again was from the die cuts from the flower shaping video. And this is a Christmas card that I sent out several years ago, and you can see that I did a more decorative border edge on the front of that flap. An up-close look at the green card with the florals, and you can see the leaves better, kind of opened up here. Here's a look at the blue flower. I didn't do any, here's the gold thread on it. It just kind of gives it an extra bling without being too thick, I'll call it. And again, this was a Christmas card from years ago. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to join the Crafting with Amanda group. And then I do have a Facebook group that you can join. I will try to put the link in the description. Here's another video you may be interested in, and I hope you have a really blessed day. Thank you.